I worked for, I came out here to work for him. He was an old, we had a loft in the same building here when I was young, 30 years ago or whenever it was, in New York. And I traveled a while, and then I ended up on the West Coast. And then he called me and wanted me to come to work for him. I'd been working for him, leaving. So he needed somebody he could trust more than, but I'm a better technician than most people anyway. So he called me, I was on the West Coast, and I was disenchanted with, what I was doing. So I came out here and went to work for Bill. Moved in with him for about a year, and he was still pretty active then, He just lived up here on Woodbine Drive. It's about half a mile. And, 30 years ago I helped him build a studio up there when we lived in the city. We'd take turns coming out here because he was very active 30 years ago. He was just starting to make money. And he had to be in the city most of the time. So I was doing a sculpture show with a man named Frederick Keesler, who died about that time, 25 years ago. And he was a big show for the business. You recording all that shit?
Who's that?
Is Roger Wilcox. You got it on because this is important.
Hold on.
Set it up, I don't care. If you're going to use it right.
Can you tell me your name?
Dane Dixon.
Dane Dixon.
Yeah. And Roger Wilcox was his wife. She had a single name, Lucia, that she went by. And Lucia was the person responsible for getting all the artists to come out here. Because at the beginning, or just before the war, she bailed out all the Jewish artists from, for instance, Loger.
Wow.
From Paris, and had them all come over here and live with her. So then the guys from New York wanting to meet the famous artists from Europe all came out here and started coming out here to see them. And that's why they started coming out here. They didn't know there was a country around New York, you know what I mean? Because a lot of them were immigrants also. Like Bikuni. He came here when he was about 16. His father paid some merchant marine to get him out of Holland because he didn't like him. He gave a merchant marine $100 to get him out of Holland, smuggle him on board ship and bring him over here, just to get rid of him. His father owned a bar and a big tough guy, and he couldn't understand an artist in his family, But Bill got to go to the academy when he was small, when he was young.
I've seen the drawings that he did. They're amazing.
Yeah. I don't have any of these books around here. But, he was kind of influenced by Gorky. There was another guy I know. He committed suicide. This is all years ago. Almost forgot all of it.
How long you been out here?
I've lived out here for 15 years next month. But I started coming out here 30 years ago. When we lived in the city. Bill and I had a studio on Broadway at 13th Street. 853 or something like that. He lived upstairs, and I lived downstairs, and the floor in between us was vacant, so we had the whole building for herself.
Wow.
But Elaine lived next door on the same floor as I did, on the bottom, on the first one floor up. That's when I was working for Frederick Keesler. I did a show for the Guggenheim Museum for him. That happened 1962 62 probably. When did Kennedy get killed? Was it,
63.
you know, that year or the year before? I was over in Europe, and I was over in Spain. He took the money and ran. And I was over there when Kennedy got killed, that's what I remember. And so Lucia got all these guys come over here, and she was a painter herself and did sculpture. And she did all that 5 years after she went blind. She did that for 5 years after she went blind. Roger lives over in off Abrams, on Abrams Path. He's got a big, got 14 acres over there. He tried to put a sculpture garden up, but he couldn't get anybody to back him up, and so he spent all his money. And so he had a certain small income that he lived on, but not much, you know. And he's living with a girl named Adrian, or AC Mims, she calls herself. She did the big one of that. Or Roger and I did it. The original was 18 feet tall.
Wow.
And she made these little ones, and she gave me one. And but Roger knows a lot about Jackson. Roger's 83 or 4 of his brides attack. You know, he remembers everything. He's very sharp. I mean, he's sharper than I'll ever get. I may know about the razor's edge, but he's cut it.
How old are you?
I'll be 60 next time. I got a 24-year-old girlfriend and looking for more. It doesn't quit working, kid, I'll tell you.
I thought Stuart Davis.
Yeah, he's over there. Yeah.
Some tombstone.
Yeah, it's a nice one. Black. That's basalt marble. That's nice marble. Keesler, the guy I was telling you about, did the place where they keep the Dead Sea Scrolls over in Israel or wherever it is. Jerusalem. I don't know. I worked on that for a couple of years, you know, did certain things for him. And, you know, like on the side when I was doing the sculpture. And that big thing where they have the eternal flame is all basalt marble, polished black marble. And almost got to go there once, but didn't get to go. So I've seen pictures from, you know, the concept to the finish. I've seen photographs and drawings and everything, so I don't really have to see the drawing. And so much work for de Kooning. I worked for him until 1980. And then Elaine de Kooning came out here and kind of took over and canned me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I know too much.
Are they still married?
Yeah, they never got divorced. She just disappeared, I think it was about 1950. And then she showed up when he got old. I guess she wants the money. I guess anybody would. If they're still legally married.
She's taking care of him, or?
Yeah, she's nice in a way, you know. It's nice. I mean, she takes care of him, I guess. I don't really know. The old man is crazy. You know, one time I'll go over there and he won't even know me. Next time he's all hugs and kisses and glad to see me, so.
He can't help it, I guess.
He's 80, he'll be 83 next month, in March. I mean April 24th.
You remember, huh?
Well, it's just Shakespeare's birthday and Hassel Smith's birthday, and, you know, a lot of people I know or know about are on the same day.
Was he out here when Pollock was out here?
No. Pollock was dead before he got it. Roger's about the only guy out there who was out here. Well, I mean, except the local guys, you know. There's a guy out here named Jack, he used to be the garbage man. He was on the ambulance. We have a volunteer fire department here, and was like the first one there. And of course, if you listen to these assholes out here, everybody was the first one there. Now, but they used to wouldn't give. I mean, the guy used to yell at him all the time who was taking his paintings for groceries. Miller over there. Said, "You can give me another one of those goddamn things right now." He said, "But the next time you got to bring me money." And Jackson never had any money, so he kept bringing these little paintings, which the guy sold one for $1 million or something, and retired. And he still got a, well, he died, but I guess his son's got a closet full of money.
Yeah, I read he gave a lot of work away.
Yeah, he bartered with it, you know. Because he never, see, the time he killed himself, that was his first successful financial show.
You think he killed himself?
Well, yeah. I mean, you drove a car off, I mean, you hit, see, the road there was paved up to that point, and then it stopped and went to dirt, and you see how the roads are out here, they don't, well, then they didn't take very good care of them at all. And then he hit that bump and just went into the woods, but he was going like 90 miles an hour. He liked to drive fast. He was drunk. According to Roger, which is the story I believe, he was invited to a party at Alfonso Osario's house, which is up at the airport. And when Roger got there, he saw Jackson and these two girls arguing with each other across the street. So I went over and he said, "Is everything all right?" And Jackson assured him it was, but he never came into the party. So he was headed back to his house. Everybody said he was headed away to, Ruth even said he was headed away from his house. He was headed back to his house. And he hit that bump there and just went in the woods. But, he couldn't handle it. He was going too fast.
What, is that Agabog? Or, no, what?
No, that's Springs Fireplace Road.
You died on that one?
And this is 3 Mile Harbor. That's Springs Fireplace Road.
He was on Springs?
Yeah.
I know, I was driving fast down there.
Yeah. Well, you get out in the country, they got cops all over you.
All right.
Don't think they ain't here. They'll bust your ass, man. They keep a watch on things. And so that's all I know about that.
Thanks. I work for an artist in the city.
Who's that?
Alex Katz.
Alex Katz, I know of him. Does that shit.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
I said that.
Well,
You can show him the picture if you want to. And tell him I said it. Well, he'll know if you show him. Well, what the hell,
Yeah.
A lot of people do shit. And sell it. I haven't seen any good art produced here anywhere in a long time. That's why I'm going to paint again.
You're going to paint?
Yeah.
You did paint? I was
Oh,
curious.
yeah. That was my formal
You
education.
said you shared a studio, yeah.
Yeah, I taught and painted and did the whole thing.
Where did you teach?
On the West Coast.
Oh,
Well, I taught teacher students in New York, for a couple, 2 years. And that wasn't like a formal school. It was just young kids coming from all over the country and trying to get a little education, So they was teaching them how to use their hands in coordination with their head. That's all it is. That's all teaching is. You can teach everybody all you know about art in a fucking week. But the rest is up to them, really, And they gotta go out and look for things and do things, themselves. Otherwise, I spent a lot of time in school, but I was milking the GI Bill, man. I got all my paint, canvas, and everything paid for, you know. So I stuck with them as long as I could, and got all the goodies, you know. Just a way to go. I mean, I was showing in art galleries and going to art school, and my teachers couldn't even get a gallery. I was showing and selling, you know.
It's tough.
It seemed easy to me. Sold everything I ever painted, or gave it away. Never cared too much about money, you know.
So all the artists around here know you're here, and they come and want you to build stretchers or buy cameras?
Yeah, and I built studios for them, stretchers, everything. I can build anything. Anything I can draw a picture of, I can build, and I can draw a picture of anything. Yeah, well, you're gonna make a living. You gotta pay the rent. That's a picture over there. Is some Australian guy was here and he painted pictures of rocks and he left them. Set him up. That little one on the drawing board in the other room. Right. He did that too. I set up his show for him, so he left those two pictures here. He's got an art restoration thing over in Australia. That's by Tom Takahashi, a Japanese artist from Japan. And I don't know, he used some cheap paint on it. It's cracking all over the place, that bottom part.
You can see it, but
yeah, before he painted more like rectangular paint, just like the top there, they had shapes like that in it. This is the first one I've ever seen do that sort of thing with, you know. To me, it looks like one of those, you know, Japanese tigers or some, you know, cartoonish picture of it.
Right,
you know.
brushwork. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Matisse show down in Washington I went last weekend. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff from 1914 to 1930.
Yeah. Lee Eastman, you know, de Kooning's lawyer has a lot of Matisse. He's got some Matisse tapestries over his house. They're beautiful.
He's around here too?
Yeah, he lives up on Lily Pond with a lot of rich folks.
I went, well, yeah, his daughter married one of the Beatles, right?
Mm-hmm. They live up there too. Yeah, Paul's a good friend of mine.
Come on, really?
Yeah. Well, he's an artist. You know, he used
Well,
to
he went to art school, yeah.
Well, he used to come over to de Kooning's, and while they were talking, well, he'd play songs for me. He'd come down the basement where I was working and play me a new tune. I haven't seen him for a long time, but we know each other.
But did you like their music? When, in the
Of course.
60s? Yeah.
I like everything new. I don't like old stuff. Well, I mean, I have, you know, tunes I remember that remind me of something.
They're always new.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I like new stuff. I like rock and roll. And sex and drugs.
That's not new.
I know. But I like it. That's old.
What about new art? New paintings?
I think most of it's shit.
Yeah,
But
you said. But I mean, the people that are today are working abstract. A lot of them are working abstract again.
I know whether they're copying old painters. I mean, they're not coming out. What I like is new. You didn't hear me.
I heard it.
I like new stuff, and I haven't seen any new stuff.
You see, I think Katz's work is new.
Well,
But maybe everything new isn't good for you, I guess.
well, I think most of the new stuff is a fucking joke, including this stuff. But I mean, you know, I think Warhol's a fucking joke, you know. When I was a painter, we were men. Now they're all a bunch of fucking pansies, you know, so.
Alex is not a pansy.
Well, mean, his work looks like it. He ought to change it. I mean, he's got enough money to change now. He don't have to keep doing the same shit over and over and over, you know.
Did you like Fairfield Porter?
Yeah. I like a lot of things that a lot of people don't like. But I mean, as long as they how can I say it? If they last long enough to establish a name that is established under art, quote, instead of under money, you know, I think it gives them a little prestige in my book. But, you know, dealers own the art world now, and they've always said, why don't you paint what you did 2 years ago, because that's selling. Well, I want to paint what they're going to like 2 years from now, or 10 years, you know, not then. And so...
What about Ellsworth Kelly?
Hmm? Sure. He's around, you know, a lot of it has to do with longevity, too. I mean, Hoffman didn't make it in a day. He worked, I remember him from, you know, when I got out of service 40 years ago. He couldn't sell a fucking thing if his life depended on it.
He's a good teacher, right?
Yeah. And de Kooning never sold a thing till he's past 50. You know, for any bread, I'm talking about bread meaning over $1,000. That was a lot of money in those days. But he never sold a penny for more than that until he was past 50, 52 or 3, before he had his first successful show was with Sidney Janis. And Bill went in and told him he had to get $1,400, you know. I mean $14,000 for this one painting. And so Janis, trying to bring him down a little bit, said, well, we might as well charge $14,000 for all of them. Bill says, okay, let's do that. So they did, and it was a sellout the first day. But it takes that kind of balls to get there. I mean, once you, in those days, if you got over 10 grand, that was the magic number. Then you could ask anything you wanted, which is what happened to most of them. You know. Klein was a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent painter.
Yeah, de Kooning and I were, the night he died, we'd been up at the hospital with a friend of ours, had a daughter about 16 that had a brain tumor. And Bill was such a nice guy with his money when he started making some dough, you know. He went up to this guy and he said, just let me be your checkbook through this ordeal. And he had to get his wife over here in Italy, this fellow named Scarpita, Salvatore Scarpita. So he got his wife and he had another kid over in Italy. And they came over here and the girl pulled through the operation. We stayed up at the hospital and in a bar across the street, I must say, for 2 or 3 days. And as soon as that was over, we were going to go down to the village and get some sleep, right? So we decided to stop in and have a couple more. We drank a lot in those days. So we had a couple more, and we were sitting with Klein's girlfriend at the time. I think her name was Schwartz. She lives up above Dillon's there. And she was sitting with us, and we said, well, you know, it's late, like 9 or 10 o'clock. It's past visiting hours. Klein had been in the hospital for some time at this point. So we neglected to go in and see him. And so we just told her that we were going to go to sleep for a little while, and then we'll go up and see him the next morning, you know. And the guy came in and told her she's dead. I mean, he's dead, you know. I'll be back. I got a phone. invited me over to some southern cooking.
Yeah, go.
Well, I'm gonna have to go right now. He said it'd be half hour, 45 minutes.
He's a potter from he works in ceramics?
Yeah, I got a piece of his, but it's gone now. They're doing some videotape of his stuff. And you ever meet him? You know him? Yeah. You want me to see if you can come over for dinner? Well, you like southern cooking? Black-eyed peas and collard greens, shit like that. Cornbread.
My mother's from Tennessee.
Yeah. Oh, you'd love it, wouldn't you? Why not call him up?
No.
Why not? You probably made a whole pot of them.
I can't afford it.
That's not an imposition. If he's got a whole pot of fucking black-eyed peas.
You don't know anything.
Well, so what? Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. She had on I never will forget this. She had on those real tight capri pants, you know, that fit skin tight. And this guy come in and whispered something in her ear, and she stood up and the pants fell right off. He told her the client had just died.
Wow.
And, I forgot his name. He's pretty well known too. I can't remember his name. I mean, you know, he got to be. He's an older guy. And so we didn't get to see him anymore.
My friend Stanley was doing a painting the night he died. Sort of an important painting for him.
Yeah. I guess that was in 62, wasn't it? 61, something like that. Must have been right along there someplace. I left in July. I left on the 4th of July and went to Paris on the 14th. Seemed like the right thing to do. Left America on the 4th of July and got in Paris on Bastille Day. And so that was, I think, in 62. I don't know, I can't keep it. But I know that Kennedy died in 63, and so I left.
November. Did you know Kerouac?
Mm-hmm.
Did?
Sure. I was in the West Coast. I was a beatnik
Right.
at that time. Yeah, I knew all those guys, Ferlinghetti and Ginsberg. Man, Larry Rivers out there. He lives out here now in Southampton.
Yeah, I know his girlfriend.
Yeah. Which one? He gets around, that boy. Must be that fucking nose. I heard a good joke the other day. It says, why did the female puppet, what did she say when she sat on Pinocchio's face? Lie to me. Larry's got a nose like that. He's a nice guy. I've never chummed around with those guys because they're a little too far out, you know. They hang around with all those gay boys and did drugs and all that stuff. I was busy the way it was anyway, you know. You got your own life, and I had to clean and take care of most of the time.
Yeah.
So I was busy.
Well, Kerouac lives in the town that I come from.
Yeah?
From Northport. I mean, I know he came from Massachusetts, but he spent some time on the island.
Mm-hmm. I knew him just up there in San Francisco, and I may have seen him. I don't think I ever saw him here. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I didn't, just from San Francisco. Ferlinghetti was my next door neighbor, so I knew all those folks. But I never really took to poets and writers. I mean, if you made a couple $100 on a painting or something, they'd bum it off you. They fucking never made any money. They never had any money. They couldn't work because they were too fucking lazy. I worked all the time and made, you know, whatever, you know, and they all knew it. And they also knew I was a pushover, so I never had any money because they'd borrow it all the time. I just loaned a guy $100 today. I only had 125. He's a fisherman out here. He can't make any money. So, he'll pay it back one of these days. If he don't, it'll make a shit anyway. It's only money. I work all the time. I make money. So,
You say you're gonna paint again?
yeah. I'm just setting up for it. In that other room in there.
It's a nice room.
This has got more light to it, but I don't want that smell in there. I'd rather sleep with it than eat with it. You know what I mean? I mean, I love the smell of oil paint, but I like to keep it in the other room, at least, if you got another room. I've always lived in a loft. I mean, I can't stand it. I've had houses out here, and I can't stand them. I've had houses in California. I've had houses for a lot of places. And I don't understand houses. Should be just one big room. You do everything in that room, right?
Well,
Except
you need
the
a
toilet.
house if you're gonna have a family.
Well, that's right. I had a girl. I lived in houses then. I got married twice. My first wife turned out to be a stripper. And never had any children. My second wife had a child. She was an actress, and she quit acting and had another child with her next husband.
Where did she act? Plays or?
This is in Hollywood. When I lived out there for a long time. I'm about to be landed on by some of those boys now. They're making a movie up in Albany called Ironweed. And it's Jack Nicholson and another friend of mine called Jeff Morris. And they called me up before the West Hollywood and threatened me with the fact that they were going to show up. So I've been drinking a little bit lately because I want to be primed when they get here, so one drink doesn't knock me on my ass, you know what I mean?
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a great actor.
yeah.
He sort of has one role.
Him.
Yeah.
Well, so do all the great actors, if you think about it.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Sure. I knew him.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew all the old timers. I look at the movies now and I don't know anybody in them, but
That's
yeah,
what
I watch old movies and I never get lonesome any place. I watch old movies, right? And I feel like a friend of mine's in the room.
Wow.
I knew Tracy and Hepburn and all those people. And,
What do you like better, the East Coast, the West Coast? Oh,
I don't really care. I just get bored of someplace I gotta move. But I'm getting too old to be a hobo anymore, you know. Probably stuck here the rest of my life. I used to go back to LA every year, but I haven't had any money the last 5 or 6 years. You know, to travel on.
You flew or you drove?
Fly.
Yeah.
And driving sucks. I love being places, but I don't like getting there. And air transportation is the answer. I mean, it's the quickest, easiest way to get someplace. And it don't scare me a bit. So I was raised in an airport. I know how to fly when I was 14 years
You know how
old.
to fly?
Sure. My uncle owned the airport.
Oh, that's something I want to learn.
That's great. We're all interested in that. Him and him, those are kites. I mean, you're interested in getting loose from your earth, you know.
Yeah.
And most artists are interested in flight.
When I was in Washington, I went to the Air Museum, Air and Space, you know, just to look at that stuff.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. I mean, I spent as much time in there as I spent in the National Gallery.
I'll bet.
I just don't like it when they use it for war.
Bomb people, yeah.
Right.
I got a buddy in Hollywood, a good friend of mine. He's a writer. He was a hot pilot in Korea. Name's Hal Captain. He used to call him Captain fucking Groovy on Hollywood Boulevard. He was a character around there until he started. And he wrote one movie called Suppose They Gave a War and Nobody Came. And that, you know, that.
Right.
But he was a killer pilot, you know, for a couple of years in the airport. Or whatever time it takes you to be a pilot now, I don't know. And
I saw that movie, yeah.
I've never seen it. He had a copy of it, but we never got around to playing it. but mostly stayed stoned. He's got an outfit called the Kama Sutra to make love oil. You know, you rub it on and eat it off. Good stuff. Everything that makes edible. It helps us older fellas. You want to have a little more? You want some more wine?
I got some, thanks.
Yeah.
I gotta let you go when you're,
Yeah, well, it's only, I mean, you're looking at 3 miles from here to the other side of the island.
okay.
You know what I mean? This is, the Atlantic Ocean's over there and the bay is here and it's 3 miles. So they might
3 Mile Harbor Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's the harbor. It's 3 miles long. That's where it goes in.
Okay.
But if you just take, like that road you took to the graveyard,
Right.
that's like Old Stone Highway takes you right over to Amagansett, and then just Amagansett is the Atlantic Ocean. Another 2 or 3 minutes from where the graveyard is the ocean. Another minute back this way, you're in the bay.
Right.
3 Mile Harbor, not in the bay. The harbor's out there.
I had a girlfriend who, on a birthday I had, she had a plane rented and we flew around. That was nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from the airport.
I got a guy that takes me around. He's got his own plane. He's a contractor. I work with him sometimes. He takes me around, flies, you know, we buzz people we know. Cause a great deal of trouble around here. He drinks a little bit too.
I want to take this thing up on the plane because fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Well, you going back to New York tonight or what?
Yeah. Well, I live in Northport. Yeah.
Oh, I know Northport. I just got out of that fucking hospital last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was, in the VA hospital, because I was broke, so I went there.
Right.
Still got my, put my nose on every morning. Nitro patch.
You got to rub it or something?
No, you just stick it on.
Oh, it goes through the skin.
Yeah. And take 14 pills every day. And all this shit keeps my heart pumping. I got my heart damaged, I guess, some places. I mean, one of the intake valve and clogs up and my blood gets too thick or something. I don't know. They never really explained to me. I couldn't breathe. And after a year of it, I decided to go to the hospital. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't. I slept about 2 hours a night. And couldn't understand why I didn't drop from fatigue. Finally, I went down to this stupid hospital down there in Southampton. I think it got every reject doctor in the world down there. Can't get a job in the city or something, you know. And they wired me up and they were going to take me up to a room. And I said, wait a minute. I said, they found me. They said, well, you're dying. You're having a heart attack. I said, well, I'm going home to die. I ain't going to die in this stupid hospital because they kill people down there, as far as I'm concerned. I never trust doctors anyway. And so I had to sign a waiver and they let me out of the hospital. I waited over the weekend and I went down to Christmas Eve. I went in there and the doctor said, I was really in bad shape. I said, no, I'm in bad shape. That's why I'm here. He said, well, why did you pick tonight to come to the hospital? I said, well, I thought I was dying. I think I'm dying. He said, well, it's a good thing you came or you would. And because I'd had 4 or 5 heart attacks, I didn't even know about it. You know, I put it off as long as I could. He kept saying, why did you come tonight? When I finally got up to the room and got relaxed and in bed, I realized it was Christmas Eve. But I didn't even think about it before that, you know what I mean? I mean, that's the last thing you think about is what's going on, you know, as far as the calendar is concerned. So I got down to like 160 pounds of just bones, you know. It's taken me a year to get a little weight back on myself, feel normal. I got a little too much on. Got to take it off again. take water pills. They get rid of the water, you know, so it's most of the weight. And I don't drink, except tonight I've had a few glasses of wine. And so I probably won't drink for another month. I felt like it today for some reason, you know. But I mean, I'll go eat a nice meal and come home and go to bed.
I was looking, I was looking for that graveyard, and I drove down that road. I was sort of like, I wanted like to find it, you know, like if I thought if I could just feel my way, I'd get there. I was halfway down that road.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, because I saw your shop, and I thought if anybody knows, you would know.
You see the house?
I wasn't sure which one it was.
It's the one, you turn the corner, it's the one right there on the left.
Green one?
It's an old house, shingles, with a barn used to paint in right in the back.
It's next to the cemetery?
Exit of here.
Oh, up here.
The exit of the cemetery is Joan Ward's house. Live across the street from the cemetery.
Yeah.
That was De Kooning's first house.
Yeah.
Joan Ward is the mother of his child, Lisa. And she's always lived there. Bill used to get drunk, stand out that window, and laugh out. They'll have him in there someday. He's got a plot.
He really...
They sold out since Pollock died. You can't get a place there anymore. Fantastic real estate deal.
I imagine when he died, that was the only tombstone like that.
Yeah, well, you never heard about that either? They would not bury him in the cemetery because he was an atheist. They buried him outside of the cemetery. And then when his paintings started selling for millions and millions of dollars, they bought the property and surrounded him. And that's the only reason he's in the cemetery, because he became popular after he died. That was so funny, they wouldn't bury him there when he... So they said, well, bury him right behind there. So they did, and Lee Krasner went and got that big rock and set it down there, and she said, he'll never get out of there. So she'd had just about enough at that time, you know. She's a very patient, nice woman.
Did you see a series they had on TV with Dustin Hoffman?
No, I never watched that shit.
It was on 13. It was about Pollock. They had one on Klein. They had one on De Kooning.
Yeah. I was there when they were shooting one of these things.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I never watched that shit.
It's all right.
I know it's all right for you, but it ain't all right for me.
You
because
lived it. I don't
there.
know it.
And it's all bullshit, you know. I mean, it's an invasion of privacy as far as I'm concerned when they, these guys, I mean, you shouldn't fuck with them when they get to be that old, leave them alone. Elaine does it because it gets her face in there, you know. And Bill does what she tells him to do, I guess. I don't pay any attention to them either. I go over to see him once in a while. I went over the other day and he was painting.
Good.
Yeah. And he waved and I saw he was working. I waved back and just drove off because he's working. I don't want to fuck with him, you know.
It doesn't seem like he works on painting as long as he used to.
Works on a lot longer. Are you kidding?
Longer?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear. I thought maybe the gallery took him away and before he was finished.
That's a possibility too. But it takes him longer to do a painting now. He had his most prolific period right after I came here, 15 years ago, because I just kept shoving canvas in front of him, and he kept painting. And he was, you know, it's an ego trip. He was determined to paint everything I sent upstairs, and I sent a lot of shit up there. You know, just a lot of blank canvas. He'd slow up, I'd stack them all around where he worked, so he'd get nervous about all these blank canvases being there, you know.
Did you prime them?
No, we bought prime canvas, Winton canvas, you know, it's a good quality, you know. Winsor Newton puts it out. Prime canvas.
An oil prime?
Yeah. I just put, you know, I made stretches. I made a thing for him to paint on because he liked a hard surface. and take them off of that and build a stretcher bar for it. And each one was individual.
I think I saw that on the TV show.
Oh yeah?
That thing you built.
No, maybe. Like I said, I don't watch those things.
Well, me, I got to scrounge around for history, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm talking to you.
I appreciate it.
That's why I'm letting you do this shit.
I appreciate it.
It's no sweat.
I'll look at it.
Yeah, good. Probably won't learn a thing.
No. That's the first wrong thing you said.
I'll be glad to call a guy if you want to go there and eat. He just calls me up when he cooks Southern cooking because he knows I like it. Let me call him up. Take a minute.
But don't press it.
I won't press it. I'll just I think he's done that one more. What's your name?
Nick.